Guys, welcome back to Let's Play Xenogears. Last time we collected all of the items droppable by the dragon in the Dune Man Isle. Now, even though we can run into dragons everywhere else, none of them drop these items. These ones are specific to the Isle and specific to fighting them in character form. Now, some new characters floating around here, so let's show off some new equipment that I've managed to pick up. The Godson ammo on you, and that's already maxed out, so that's pretty much as good as you're getting. I do have their gear, both Billy and Bart's gear, set up for where I will use them later on in the final dungeon. Ether Doubler on Billy, Dark Helm just for ether defense, Evasion Ring for obvious reasons. Now, the Death Adder is a whopping 4 better than the previous one, so might as well throw that on there. And Dark Armor for the Ether Defense, Long Dark Coat for the Ether Defense, Evasion Ring, obvious. And as far as gear, I won't be going over why I have this on until we actually get there, but Godfather and the Sonic G-Whip, Power Magic, Frame, Z-Charger, and same except for no extra of that. And so let's show off a couple more things here. There's a few other items we got. Yes, we know. We're the only ones who can do anything at this point in the game. So let's, we'll throw Marie on there just to kind of show what she's doing. And put Stan in his rightful spot. And then we'll bring Emeralda back in for the end. Now I know I have been using pretty much nothing but Stan and Emeralda since I've had a choice. And the reason for that is because I think their speed outweighs everything else. They will be the final party going into the boss of the game. But that's why I have the others queued up. And so let's see here. You already have your Mew Mew sword. I already showed that off. It's not a Mew Mew sword. It's a Mumyo sword, I guess. Pronunciations and laziness, you know. And she has a Goddess Robe for the Ether Defense, Ether Doubler, and Evasion Ring. And let's take a look here. Now there are some other items that we got here. Angelic Robe. Nah, it doesn't need that. Blessed Habit, and as you can see there, they kind of screwed up on ran out of characters. But the Blessed Habit is the best female-only armor in the game. It has more defense than everything else, including, you know, the Angelic Robe, which I think is the next best. So, yeah, or is it the Goddess's Robe that's the next best? Either way, it's the best armor for pure defense, but I like to have the other stats because that's helpful. Blessed Helm is the best helmet in the game. Nothing special about it, really. I don't think there's anything else special I got from the dragon there that I can show off with them. So let's show the last one off here. Whereabouts are you? Kaiser Helm. Best helmet in the game. I think it's slightly better than the next best. What's the next best? We have King's Helm. 40... 54, so 14 better. It's better, but the fact that we get all of this great character-based armor and the ability to buy the drives to up our character stats is kind of a moot point because there's just nothing we can do with it anymore. There's no challenging enemies left to fight. Even if I was, you know, 20 levels lower than I am now, there's still very few challenges left around here for me to face. The right gear and the right setup. So, oh well. Anyway, that's just all I wanted to show off as far as extra characters, items we got before. Fast forward through that again. And so our final, well, I'll show all them off in a moment here. We don't have much time left, so let's be done with side quests, done with extra stuff, and let's move in at long last. Eventually. I don't think I really need to show you where Deus is. One thing of note is earlier in the game, when about was this? I think this was when we were plotting out where Sargasso Point was, and Ellie was thinking about where she came down. They showed off the world map there, and the world map there actually showed the island on the far right where Tora lives, as well as the ice islands in the north and the south. But at that time, those islands didn't exist on the world map. They just kind of showed up after Deus did all of his stuff on Disc 2. I just think that's an interesting point. I'll kind of think maybe I'll bring up later on in the game, you know, when I'm just talking instead of actually playing. I'll bring up some images of whatever it is. No, that's the wrong way. That's one of the downsides to this, the entrance here, is it's very hard to see whereabouts you're trying to go when you get in there. So you're either going north or you're going south, and I always end up going the wrong way. So yeah, if you can see nothing like that, don't go that way. If you can see that little square at the very top of the screen, head that way. But yeah, like there's actually an image I found on Google that shows the world map before and after. Well, it's two separate images, but anyway, I just figure it'd be interesting to show that off at some point. And luckily for us, we get mapping, though they don't tell you how to use it. Of course, it's the select button. Now, they don't show off where the exits are. They just show off where you are, where that white triangle is. So, let's show off the gear that I've got rocking for this place. Evasion ring, speed shoes, holy pendant on everyone. Not too difficult to figure out why. Ether armor, magnetic coat, Z charger for everybody. Again, not difficult to see why. Anyway, our goal here is we want to head to that top right point. So I'm just going to head there and we'll fight some new enemies along the way. There's also some traps floating about. And most of the enemies that we run into here don't, you know, they're quite powerful. So you do want to take them out rather quickly. But with our 1000 strength ether or engine, we do enough damage to one shot and about half the enemies in here. And that's without even having, oh, what is the word I am looking for? The word I am looking for is the GSNR, whatever those things are. Okay, so we want to head up to the right and then down. Now, the enemies around here are all like Serifs, except for a couple of people. I think this is, what, an Eagle Eye? Basically, at this point in the game, all we're going to do is mash the X button through pretty much any of the enemies we find. Some of them do drop useful items, and I will talk about why those items are useful in a bit. Let's go this way. When we at least get some of the better ones. And I've already shown off you, but you die so fast, I might as well just leave you in here. Then it gives me a chance to glance over the football game. That's a good thing too. Tail end of the game I'm not watching. I will be, when this is over, I will be watching the game I am actually interested in watching. So that's good. Yeah, these things, I think they do, what, like 50 damage or something like that to you? Really doesn't matter. Okay, I was going to go into my map and show you something, but again, that's it. Fast forward. Gaining lots of levels, though. They do give good experience. So the map here, heading down to the right, I think leads to a save point, which is kind of pointless. And over here leads to the way forward. Now, once you go in here, you're stuck in here for quite some time until you figure out how to do this dungeon. So make sure you're ready. Or playing on an emulator and have save states. Well, once you jump in here. Now, I find heading to the bottom right seems to work for me. Over to the left there, these little things that show up can hit you and do like 50 damage. I'm not worried, because even if it does hit you, it doesn't really do a lot of, like, 50 damage to our gears. Ooh. But anyway, yeah, ow, so I got hit there. Ow. It worked last time. Oh well. No big loss, I got hit twice. I'll take it. Ah! You can try and dodge them, but with the camera spinning like that, it's really hard to judge where you're going and where the camera will be when you get there. So yeah, I got hit twice on the way down. That's not bad, considering I didn't even move. Now, some say, like, pretty sure I read somewhere that you don't have a map here, but you do, and it's very, very useful to have. Now, the way this area works, and there's no battles here, so you don't have to worry about that, is you have these platforms. You also have elevators. So let's take the elevator down. We want to head down and to the left first. And once we get there, I will kind of show why we're going in different directions. For a final dungeon, it's kind of lame. There's only 2 items in here, and neither of them are useful. I'm going to show them off anyway, just for completion's sake, but there's no real purpose to it. Let's see, whereabouts am I? So you want to go down to the left, and then down to the right, leading us to that bottom little red dot there. Now, there's a bunch of... I think I go straight down here, don't I? Should be the right way. Yeah, there we go. And here we'll be transferred to a secondary part of the dungeon where you can run into enemies. Now, that first area that we went to is kind of done and over with. Now, most of the enemies here, I talked about it earlier, are Serif type enemies like these, the angel type enemies. And, you know, there's fire, earth, water, wind. You know, power Serifs are particularly powerful. There's also heal Serifs that will deal damage, or won't deal damage. They will heal you either for fuel or HP when you deal damage to them. So they're useful to run into, but I wouldn't rely on them for too much, which is why I have the Z chargers on. Because with the only 1,000 fuel engines, I'm going to need to recharge on fuel at some point. And yeah, the enemies around here tend to be the same a lot, but because I can barely tell the difference between a lot of these Serifs and they don't get turns, I'm going to leave a bunch of the fights in here. Well, we fought the fire ones, and I know they're fire ones. Now, take a look at this. These are their types of attacks. It's an angel attack. And it does a crap ton of damage, even with you know, the Ether AR plus 3s that I have on everyone. And I still haven't gotten one that I want. You know, I've gotten the Ether AR 1, the regular Ether AR dropped from somebody. But there are better ones out there. And I will like to get one of those. And we get some Godson ammo. Whoa, I can buy that for 1,000 G. Why do I need it here? Oh well. It is what it is, I guess. So we're going to head back where we came from. Fight a battle along the way, maybe? Probably. That one I knew was a repeat. And a lot of the enemies around here can drop Ether AR plus 3s, which I think I misspoke and said that you could get them at, oh, where was it? The Anima Relic dungeons, which you cannot. You actually could have gotten it before at the Eldridge, which we'll have access to in a little bit. Do I need to do anything here? Where am I? I do not. I think I need to go... I need to go up and then down. Okay. I don't have a guide sitting next to me for this. I'm trying to do this from memory from what I did earlier today, so bear with me if I struggle. Okay, so it's not that one, so I want to head down over here. And there should be a little... Yes. Okay, so there's also these little things here. These are little switches that change the orientation of all of the things. And the thing is, when you change your orientation, it will change what this map looks like, so that allows you to figure out exactly if you have access to the areas you want access to. Now, the red square in the upper left-ish, middle-ish, is our final destination. But before we get there, we need to unlock some other switches, and then reset some switches, and too many switches. Anyway, this one is a temporary switch. You can switch it back and forth. There are permanent switches that only switch once. We want to hit both of those because that's important. And so now that I've done that, as you can see, the map's changed a little bit, and we can't go directly kind of above us to the slight right. Now we need to go all the way over to the far right. So I want to go down, since I don't want to go take the elevator down, that is, because I don't want to go south. Try and keep your camera centered to the north. It'll allow you a better idea of where we're heading. But let's see, yeah, so I want to go up. Basically, if there's a path on the floor that I'm on that leads in the direction that I want to go, then I will go that way. And there wasn't any down there, so I want to go up now. And I don't think there, yeah, there's none that leads further up, so we want to head down now instead. And they're going to glitch out on me a little bit. For whatever reason, the camera loves to change your angle to northeast whenever it takes you down the elevator, so that's annoying, but oh well. Here we go. Now, this one is a permanent one. Doing this will move that particular one to that particular spot, and you have no idea what that does. But what that actually did is using the hands of a clock, say about 10 or 11 o'clock, the top left, it allowed you access from that red dot, which is a doorway, all the way to that circle area that it's connected to. It wasn't connected before. So you have to hit that one in order to proceed. Now, I'm not going to do a lot of off-screening in this dungeon because it's confusing as shit, and I hate it. So, unfortunately, you're going to have to bear with me while I run through this dungeon. I do know the fastest way, at least it's to my knowledge, of going through it, so it's not like you're going to be stuck dealing with crap the whole time and me getting lost. Me checking the map a few times, maybe. But, yeah, that's about it. So now we need to just head back to the first switch we hit. And when we get back there, we're going to hit it, and then we're going to head up to the area that was blocked off when we hit it the first time. Hopefully that's not confusing. So yeah, the area that we were at, I meant to pull up the map. From my current location, head to the right, up, and then to the upper right. And that last circle there that has no paths leading away from it other than the one we came on, that's where you hit that switch. That one we got there before. Now, in order to hit these switches, you just hit the X button next to it. But, like, I can't hit the X button here because, as you can see, it's only got, like, that little rainbow window to move. So if I wanted to move it back, I'd have to go over here and hit the X button. But I don't, because I now have access to... Nope, I want to go down first. I now have access to another section that we had blocked off there previously, so... Now we'll go up here, so we should be able to go head straight north. Let's get through there somewhere so we can see. Now, once we get here, our goal is to head up to the right, straight up, and then across over to the east. So I believe... Is this going the right way? Yes. I lose track of where I am very easily in this area for whatever reason. So I believe I need to head up in order to progress here. Yes, there we go. So we want to head up here and then over to the east. Don't need to play with that. It's got another switch on it. Don't worry about it. That one, as far as I know, is useless and doesn't... Well, it does do something, but you don't need to. Can I... No, I gotta go down first. A lot of the switches will switch things to this way or that way. You only need to press 3 total switches, and one of them you press twice, and we've already done the one that we had to press twice. Where am I here? So here we are. We came out of the far left door there, right next to where I am, and we want to head down to the bottom left one. So basically just keep running down here. Now here we'll run into those enemies again. Not that they're important, but might as well show off all the ones that I can. This is an Earth Serif, who apparently grows big. One arm at a time. Go. Nothing too much to the enemies so far. They do get more powerful, especially when we run into the Power Serif, and I would like to show that one off because I can't kill him in one shot. Okay, same guy again. And he's just going to grow big again. Okay. Now, they do have other attacks. Most of them have, like, Angel Elemental attacks, which is like Beam Elemental, that I'm going to charge with you. And the Angel Elemental attack, like a beam elemental attack. It does quite a bit of damage. I think it does about 6,000 damage to most of my characters. Let's see here. Whereabouts are we? So yeah, ignore the one down to the right. That leads nowhere. This one just leads to treasure, which is completely pointless. But completionist, let's show it off. Well, it looks like the game's over. Victory formation. And we got a pilot shield, which prevents confusion. I don't know if anyone at this point in the game uses confusion, but it's there, I guess. So skip on the first path there, and we want to take the second right-hand turn there. And I will show the map there when we get there. Are these the same guys? Have we seen these guys before? Yes, they're the same Earth dudes. Alright, fast forward through that fight. Now, sometimes your hits seem to miss or do like very little damage, like they guard very well. They also have like the elemental attacks that I was talking about, but apparently not right now. Anyway. And there we go. We get the Angel AR +1. Those are the ones I will be replacing my, what are they? My magnetic coats with while I'm in here, for the most part. Let's take a look here if I can find one. Yeah, the Angel ARs give you 50 armor, reduce Angel damage by 30%. The +1s, 100 defense, and 50% reduction on that damage. So I'm going to be putting those on there. For the most part, once I get them. At this point, during my testing, I already had a whole crap ton of them. But, oh well. So once you get to this turn here, we want to head over directly to the right there. If I can get out of my thing, that would be helpful. So let's head over here and down over to this side. Go through a bunch of weird looking things, and we'll pop out over here. Now, yeah, this is the side we're on at this point. We need to head up over to the right, up, over to the right, and then over to the right again, leading to the circle just above the red square there. But that's all the time I have for this episode of Let's Play Xenogears. Next time, we will head through more of this dungeon, and that will, of course, be after I watch my football game. That's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.